Arguably, ang pinaka-memorable na Gilas team in recent memory ay ang 2013 to 14 Gilas Pilipinas. Comparing to other Gilas teams, hindi sila yung pinaka-malakas, pinaka-fancy, pinaka-matangkad, pinaka-skilled. Pero may something about them. Sila yung pinaka-memorable kasi they paved the way and made us realize na kaya naman pala mag-compete. At the center of it all though ay si Coach Chot Reyes. Na over the years, slowly naging controversial figure sa buong Gilas program because of what happened surrounding him and his program. But before all that, Coach Chot Reyes was the guy who helped this Gilas team or Gilas program compete nung early 2010s. He had the vision, he had the blueprint, and they executed it. Siya ang architect ng Gilas team na to. At today, sisilipin natin kung ano yung blueprint sa 2013 to 14 Gilas Pilipinas team at bakit sila naging successful nung time. Ano ba ang bumuo sa 2013 to 14 Gilas Pilipinas? Ano ang naging recipe nila for success? Tatlong bagay: space, texture, at puso. Pero bago tayo pumunta sa blueprint nila, gusto ko muna pag-usapan yung part na pinsan hindi nabibigyang pansin. This Gilas team was actually ahead of its time. They emphasized pace and space bago pa siya maging sobrang uso talaga. They played fast, they spaced the floor, at dahil may stretch big sila in Andre Blatch, nakalaro sila ng 5-out system in some situations. Not fully, pero they did. Yung big man nila sa offense minsan nasa labas, which gave their guards ample amount of space to drive and attack the gaps.
Sa ngayon, normal na yan sa modern basketball, pero noong 2013 to 14, sakto lang. Like most teams, nung panahon na yon, traditional lang laro. Mga naka-twin towers, half-court sets. Even yung set play nila, very strict. Not really what you would call a freelance na yung players yung magde-decide. Yung play yung magdidikta saan sila pupunta. And yung team nga, di ba, na dominante nung panahon na yon, San Antonio Spurs sa NBA and their motion offense. And pagdating naman sa locals, it was San Mig Coffee with their triangle offense.
And yun yung reason kung bakit special tong Gilas team na to. We often remember them for their puso, for beating Korea, for competing in the World Cup.
Pero kung paano nila minaximize kung anong tools or ano yung meron sila was really great. Undersized, okay, bilisan natin yung laro. Wala tayo gaanong bigs. Okay lang, let's play perimeter oriented. And I understand, okay, na ito rin yung reason or ito rin yung same system na naging reason sa downfall ni Coach Chot Reyes and his Gilas program. Pero at the time, the Gilas team was ahead of its time. And it was actually genius kung ano yung ginawa nila.
Ngayon, isa-isahin natin yung recipe ng dating Gilas Pilipinas. Unahin natin yung space. Ito yung pinaka-core ng sistema ni Coach Chot na dribble drive motion offense. Ang idea, simple lang. 4 out, 1 in. Both corners are occupied and then merong isang big sa trail and then isa sa dunker spot. Hindi naman sobrang strict kasi free-flowing offense to na based sa pag-atake ng gaps. Pero most of the time, 4 na players sa perimeter and then isa sa loob. Ang goal is to attack the gaps, whether through dribble or cuts. Pero let's assume na magda-drive ka. Pagka-atake sa gaps, pag nag-collapse ang defense, pasa sa shooter or sa big man. Kung hindi nag-collapse, meron kang layup. At nung time na yon, it worked. Kasi mabilis ang Gilas, magaling ang mga gwardya, and our shooters actually shot the ball well.
Okay, and for me, in my opinion, yung spacing kasi, ang pinakamalaking factor for it to be effective is yung shooters to be effective. Kasi kung hindi nakakashoot yung shooters, the defense will always sag off and, just contain the paint and the dribble drive. And I think ang pinakamalaking factor kung bakit, or pinakamalaking reason kung bakit nagkaroon ng downfall or hindi na naging effective sa latter part ng career ni Coach Chot Reyes sa Gilas Pilipinas, yung system niya, was that yung shooters, yung 3-pointers nila stopped falling. Nung panahon ng mga 2013-14, ang dami nating elite shooters sa team. Like sila Larry Fonacher, Jimmy Alapag. So, kumbaga, mas maraming space for our dribble-oriented players like Jason Castro or others to be effective kasi mas maraming space. Ngayon, kung babalikan natin yung mga huling iterations ng Gilas under Coach Chot Reyes, wala tayong maisip na consistent na naging shooter sa mga lineups na yon. And I feel like yun yung isa sa mga naging malaking factor kung bakit hindi naging effective na yung dribble drive. Pero if you think about it, sa NBA, buhay pa rin naman yung dribble drive eh. Kasi yung 3-pointers nila, mas lalong nag-improve. And yung nangyari sa Gilas Pilipinas, yung 3-pointers natin, or yung 3-point shooters natin rather, stopped being effective. And sobrang importante ng space. Kung makikita nyo sa shot na to right now, okay, there's not a lot of space around me right now. Kumbaga, konti lang yung space ko to move. Konti lang yung space ko to create or maging creative. Kasi itong shot na to, kumbaga, ito na lang yung shot na kaya kong gawin eh. Kasi yung lens, okay, yung space na meron ako, not a lot of creativity na pwedeng gawin. So, sa basketball context, pag walang spacing, wala kang room. Okay, you feel trapped. Kasi, literally, matatrap ka talaga. Kasi, defenses are going to cheat. Defenses are going to sag off. Kasi hindi naman nakakashoot yung shooters. And kapag ganito yung space mo, as the, ball handler sa dribble drive, there's not a lot of room to dribble around. And the defense will always anticipate you going to the paint. And they will not bother closing out sa shooters na hindi naman nakakashoot. Kumpara mo dito na ang dami kong space, so I can do whatever I want. So, ganun kahalaga ang spacing.
Ang susunod ay texture. When I mean by texture, I'm talking about layers. I'm talking about being more than just a surface. I'm talking about that subtle complexity at character. Ito yung rich, layered identity ng Filipino basketball. Yes, merong system si Coach Chot Reyes, pero hindi niya sinubukang burahin ang kultura ng Pinoy basketball sa pagtakbo niya ng Gilas Pilipinas. His system was open enough and hindi restrictive for the players to do what felt right at the moment. Hindi textbook basketball pero merong personality, merong character. It allowed the players to occasionally override the rules and play through pure intention and puso. At kahit may some form of structure ang dribble drive, binigyan pa rin ng freedom ang players to express themselves. That's why it is called bara-bara offense. Yung pangalan na yun may negative connotation ngayon because of what happened after the stint. Pero nung panahon na to, yung ganong klaseng offense kasi is what the Gilas needed. That is why nandoon yung passion, nandun yung improvisation, and yung pagiging creative sa court. And we all felt it. From their ball movement, their big shots, to their celebrations, to how they represented the flag. It was a team that paid respect to the game and to the Filipino basketball culture. And that's what gave this Gilas team so much texture. And you can say whatever you want about Coach Chot, his shortcomings, and how he eventually handled the criticism. Pero, nung kalakasan kasi ng Gilas team na to, outside the basketball spectrum, people actually showed their support. He actually made basketball accessible. Kasi yung Gilas team na to, first of all, they're good. Pangalawa, they had the players to do so. And pangatlo kasi, they exemplified what it meant or what it means to be a Filipino. Yes, ang cringy pakinggan ngayon na parang nationalistic and all, pero we also have to put into context na nung panahon na yon, hindi pa cringe ang Pinoy pride. And in my opinion, it will never be. To some extent lang na medyo naging monetary yung Pinoy pride or nakumodify yung Pinoy pride. Pero nung panahon na to, it was all natural. People actually felt something. People actually, supported this Gilas team. And this Gilas team actually, embodied the pride. And they actually went on and competed sa high level. And fast forward today now, we're all clamoring for an approach na, mas cerebral, mas technical, motion offense, triangle offense. Pero for me, in my opinion, this Gilas team is a reminder for us na yes, pwede tayo mag-evolve. Yes, pwede tayo mag-improve. Yes, pwede tayo maging cerebral. Pwede tayo maging technical. Pero at the same time, we shouldn't really forget also yung roots natin. Hindi dapat natin pwedeng kalimutan saan tayo nanggaling. And kahit onti lang, we should still, carry, dalin pa rin natin yung identity or what makes us, different and unique. And ito yung texture na tinutukoy ko kasi it's not one-dimensional, hindi to either or, hindi black or white. It's very subtle, maraming gray areas. It's precise pero merong unique character. We've been talking about this for the past couple of minutes. At ang pangatlong factor sa success ng 2013-14 Gilas Pilipinas ay syempre ang kanilang puso. They were undersized, outmatched, considerably mas mababa ang budget, ang funds compared to other international teams, pero hindi sila nagkulang sa puso. Laban sila kung laban. Kahit na underdog, hindi sila papatalo. Remember FIBA Asia 2013? Remember the Korean curse? Yung estado ng national team bago yon, Yung panalo isang malaking achievement na. Pero yung panalo against Korea, that night, that game, changed history forever.
Jimmy launches it. Bang! That's a 3-point shot. We're back in the lead. One gun spite up. Ranidel free for the three. Yes! 6 seconds to work with. Jimmy launches it. Bang! Are we 26 seconds away para mabura na ang bangungot ng Korea? Castro, big risk! Wins it all! Offensive rebound. And the curse of Korea is about to be broken here inside the MOA Arena. Gilas Pilipinas books a ticket to Spain next year. Nasa finals po tayo bukas.
And kahit na nung sa World Cup na mismo, yung Gilas Pilipinas team were competitive. They played to a level na nakasabay sila sa ibang mga nakalaban nila. Natalo sila, yes, pero hindi sila napahiya. Lumaban sila hanggang dulo. And they looked like they belong. This Gilas team gave us a reason to believe, para maniwala. They gave us hope na kaya naman palang lumevel, kaya naman palang lumaban. At baka in the future, kaya naman palang mas marating yung mga mas matataas na level sa international basketball. Okay, so anong resolution natin dito after ng lahat ng yon? Honestly, ginawa ko tong video na to more of a response or more of a reminder. Kasi yung Gilas ngayon, I fear, will eventually become like Barangay Ginebra. I know Gilas tong video na to and sawang-sawa na kayo marinig yung Ginebra. Pero isa lang kasi yung coach. Isa lang yung system. And the fact na nagdagdag nga sila ng players sa pool is a good sign already kasi ibig sabihin ng flexible or kaya nila maging flexible. Pero I think it's a good thing. Maganda na, or dapat, kailangan talaga nating i-push yung program kung ano yung standards internationally. We have to be better. We have to adapt. Pero at the same time, hindi dapat natin makalimutan yung spirit ba or kung ano, yung ibig sabihin maging isang Pilipinas team. I know it's cringe. I know corny siya. Pero at the same time, we shouldn't lose our identity. Yun ang gusto kong sabihin. Yes, pwede ka mag-improve. Pwede ka maging objectively a good team. Diba? Pwede ka maging objectively so much better. And honestly, nag-wear off na kasi sa akin. Yan, na bago yung coach, bago yung system, bago yung ganito. Medyo natapos na yung gimmick sa akin. So, medyo nasa stage ako of worrying whether nagper-persist na naman ba yung simptomas ng isang team cone team or ng isang team cone run basketball team. Pero I don't know, we'll see. Let's hope na lang na mag-continue yung willingness or yung pagiging open-minded to be more flexible kasi yun naman yung importante.